Used to think that after 35 years together, surprises were behind us. We had already survived everything that could shake a marriage, money problems, miscarriages, my long work hours, her years of caring for my mother, illnesses, disappointments, small resentments that never fully disappeared. We learned how to argue quietly, how to forgive without fully understanding, how to stay. So when we celebrated our anniversary, believed in the story I'd been telling myself for years that we were imperfect, but solid. We went to the same restaurant where we'd had our first date. She wore blue, the color she always chose when she wanted to feel younger, laughed about old neighbors, about how we once thought 40 was ancient. She held my hand across the table. Her ring was warm. That night, after she fell asleep, I stayed awake longer than usual. The house felt too quiet. Something in me felt unsettled, though I couldn't name why. The next morning, I found her phone on the kitchen counter. It was charging, buzzing softly, searching for anything. I wasn't suspicious. I just moved it so I could wipe the counter. A message appeared. Name I didn't recognize. Last night was perfect. Can't stop thinking about you. I stared at it longer than I should have, long enough for another message to arrive. When can I see you again? My first reaction wasn't anger. It was disbelief. Told myself there had to be an explanation. A mistake. A friend joking badly. A misunderstanding that would dissolve the moment I asked. But my hands were shaking as I unlocked the phone. She had never changed her password. Maybe she never thought she'd need to. The thread was long, months long, photos, plans, complaints about me disguised as jokes, intimacy written in words I hadn't heard in years. I put the phone back exactly where it was. Then I sat at the kitchen table and stared at nothing, for hours. That day I went to work. I answered emails. I smiled at coworkers, tended meetings. I drank coffee. Inside, something had collapsed quietly. I didn't confront her. Not that night. Not the next day. When she told me she was meeting a friend the following weekend and left wearing perfume she hadn't used in years. Watched her walk out the door. And I knew where she was going. What surprised me most was how little rage I felt. Mostly, I felt tired. Tired of being loyal to a story that wasn't true anymore. Tired of pretending I didn't see the distance growing between us. Tired of protecting her from consequences she had chosen. That afternoon, while she was out with him, sat in my study and opened a blank message. I wrote, deleted, wrote again, deleted again. Every version was either too angry, too desperate, or too small. I didn't want to beg. I didn't want to threaten. I didn't want to humiliate her. I wanted to speak in a way that I could live with later. Finally, I sent this. I know about you and him. I've known for a while, not writing to argue. I'm writing to say that after 35 years, I deserved honesty. I gave you loyalty even when it was hard. Won't compete for my own marriage. I'm choosing to respect myself now. No accusations, no insults, no drama, just truth. She didn't reply for 20 minutes. Then, please call me. I didn't. Another message. Please. I'm sorry. Didn't mean for this to happen. Then, I'm coming home. While she was driving back, I received a notification from our bank. Confirmation email for an account I had quietly opened 2 weeks earlier after first suspecting something was wrong. My lawyer had advised me to prepare, not to panic. The email confirmed the transfer of my personal savings. It wasn't revenge. It was protection. When she walked through the door, she looked smaller somehow. Her eyes were red. Her makeup was smudged. Her confidence, always her shield, was gone. She stood in the hallway like a guest who wasn't sure she was welcome. I was going to tell you, she said. I nodded. When? I don't know. We sat at opposite ends of the couch. The space between us felt wider than the room. I made a mistake, she whispered. I looked at her for a long time. Wasn't a mistake, I said quietly. It was a series of choices. She cried then, not loudly, just tears sliding down her face. Her body had finally accepted what her mind had avoided. I never meant to hurt you. I know, I replied. But you did. She asked if we could fix it. I didn't answer immediately, because the truth was complicated. I still loved her, still remembered her at 23, laughing on a bus, holding my arm, still remembered hospital nights and shared fears and inside jokes no one else knew. But love wasn't enough anymore. Trust had been dismantled carefully over time. Don't know if I can be married to someone who needed another life to feel alive, I said. We agreed to separate, at least for now. No shouting, no slammed doors, no public scene. Just paperwork, conversations with lawyers, dividing years into folders and lists. Some days I felt strong, some days unbearably lonely. There were mornings I reached for her side of the bed out of habit. There were nights I questioned everything. But slowly, something changed. I stopped checking my phone for her messages, started making decisions without explaining myself. I slept better, I walked more, I laughed sometimes without guilt. Months later, she asked if we could try again. I told her I wasn't angry anymore, but I wasn't willing to rebuild something on broken ground. We remain civil, we talk occasionally, we share memories without pretending they guarantee a future. I don't feel victorious, don't feel destroyed. I feel honest. For the first time in years, I'm not shrinking myself to keep someone else comfortable. Win. I didn't lose, I chose myself.